To this evening's Psalms, July 8th, 2020, are relevant any time, but are Psalms 12 through 14. I'd like to focus on a little bit of Psalm 12 for some comments and then bring it around. No one faithful remains. The loyal have disappeared from the human race. They lie to one another. They speak with flattering lips and deceptive hearts. May the Lord cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that speaks boastfully. They say, through our tongues we have power. Our lips are our own. Who can be our master? So mastery has to do with self-mastery, but it also has to do with understanding that we're not in this alone, and that there may be some higher power that has the right to govern our lives. And so the person that the psalmist is complaining about is the person without any mastery in their lives. And therefore they wield the power of the tongue in order to have power and influence, illegitimate influence, and sway to manipulate people through flattery and deception and boastfulness and harm to other people, wickedness. And the psalmist is concerned about this, that these people in power can do a great deal of damage. So it goes on, and the psalmist lets God speak now. Because of the oppression of the afflicted and the groaning of the poor, I will now rise up, says the Lord. I will put in a safe place the one who longs for it. And we see the bias and the heart of God for the poor, the downtrodden, the oppressed. The words of the Lord are pure words, the silver refined in earthen furnace, purified 7 times. How do our words compare with God's words? How does God speak differently than we speak? Well, God speaks with great purity. You, Lord, will guard us. You will protect us from this generation forever. The wicked wander everywhere, and what is worthless is exalted by these. What a statement of misguided values. Worthless things are regarded as worthful, as worthy. And so just to alert you that in Psalm 13, the psalmist pours out this lament, how long, Lord, will you forget me forever? But he ends with, I've trusted in your faithful love. My heart will rejoice in your deliverance. And then we go over to Psalm 14. Remember in Psalm 12, the psalmist is saying this wicked person who speaks wickedly has no regard for God. And now the psalmist puts it in this frame. The fool says in his heart, God does not exist. In his heart. I'm not talking about the mind here. I'm not talking about honest doubt and fear. I don't think he's talking about atheists or agnostics who are earnestly seeking the truth. I think he's talking about someone who knows that there is a truth higher than his own truth or her own truth, but chooses to live a life that is practically outside of the realm of the authority of God, outside of the realm of morality and ethics. It is not intellectual foolishness, but spiritual and moral foolishness. They are corrupt, he says. Their actions are revolting. There is no one who... The Lord looks down from heaven on the human race to see if there is one who is wise, one who seeks God. All have turned away. All? Even those who will go to bed at night saying, now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Even those who arise in the morning and say, Our Father, which art in heaven. Some. All have turned away. All alike have become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. At least that's the way the psalmist sees it. As he's oppressed, as he is depressed by the wickedness of the world. And he says, well, evildoers never understand. They consume my people as they consume bread. They do not call on the Lord. What kind of person says in their heart, there is no God, evildoers, those who consume bread and consume people the same way, those who walk over people, those who manipulate people, then they will be filled with terror, for God is with those who are righteous. You sinners frustrate the plans of the afflicted, but the Lord is his refuge. Where does the bias, the heart of God, lie? With the afflicted, with the righteous, with those who need him and know they need him, with you today as you are seeking his face. Oh, that Israel's deliverance would come from Zion. When the Lord restores his captive people, Jacob will rejoice. Israel will be glad. Well, however depressed and depressing the world may seem, and however oppressed we may feel, God is for us. And if God be for us, who can be against us? God's heart is with those who are leaning in his direction and want to seek his face in seeking his wisdom.